What is going on, guys? Now we have a cracking fight St. Paddy's Day weekend. Anthony Cacace, Jazza Dickens. Jazza Dickens, probably the most underrated world champion at the moment. Slick southpaw, can box, can move, can mix in the middle, can brawl. Same with Cacace, which is why I do believe this fight has the recipe to be an absolute 12-round banger. Now, when you break both of their last fights down stylistically, Jazza Dickens, he basically just won off his jab, upsetting the odds. Just jab, timing him, making him miss, making him pay, stamping his authority, and just his precision is probably one of his best attributes. The way he makes him come in, makes him complacent, and then lands the shots that he needs to, while the other one's just admiring his work. Making him miss and making him pay is the key. You'll see here the way he slips to his right. He's so repetitive, this other person, where Jazza Dickens saw it early on, was able to capitalize it, as you'll see later on in the fourth round when he got him out of there. Too repetitive, where Jazza Dickens, one of his key attributes I'd say is reading a fighter. He does it sublimely. The way he just reads them, just boxes, moves, and then creates some openings, and then later on when you don't expect them, he comes over the top and sends you night-night, as he did with this man here. But you'll see again, same left hand, but he timed him with that jab. Just little jabs until he finds that opening where, do you know what, maybe we can throw that left hand, which is what he eventually did. But the jab is so underrated for someone with a shorter reach. You never see that with someone like Jazza Dickens, where he has a range that's a lot less than someone he's fighting, yet you'd think he's the taller man, the gangly, the lanky one. But the way he tees up here with that left hand, boom, another left hand, legs go like Bambi, uppercut, left, and then one little one to send him on the canvas, and then that was nearly night-night until he did the job at the end. Where you see here, uppercut, left hook, right hook, sorry, triple right hook, quadruple right hook, 5 times right hook. You know, he was just honestly a different level, where when he has someone hurt, he goes for the kill. He goes to absolutely wipe you on the floor. But the problem is, he's been chinned as well, where Cacace does possess that power, but does he have the power to stop Dickens in his tracks? Now with Cacace, look at him against Leeward, unreal. You know, little line movements like that, where he went to southpaw after he got caught pushing the back foot from orthodox to southpaw. Little adjustments that the opponents don't capitalize on. Unorthodox, throwing out weird angles. That is going to beat someone who's fundamentally sound, who's got the greatest probably boxing technical ability in Great Britain. So Cacace, he needs to capitalize on that, bring him into a fight where he can't box, but he can't mix in the middle. Keep him at range, keep him at bay, just jab, move. Don't get into a dogfight with someone with a less range than you and someone who can mix in the middle like you. But with Cacace, you'll see against Leeward, he boxed in the middle. I mean, he brawled in the middle. Everything he did was on the front foot. He didn't really get pushed back, and when he did, he made him pay. He made him suffer. He made him just absolutely regret every single thing he did. Because Leeward, as good as he was a shell of himself this night. He wasn't the prime Leeward that fought Kanzu or Michael Conlon. Cacace beating him to the punch every single time. But you'll see there, the way he turned him, back on the front foot, jab, his timing's impeccable. And you'll see back here when I said about him being on the back foot, caught him with that left hook that rocked him, and then again with a right hook. So every time he pushed him back, he made Leeward pay, which is absolutely detrimental to someone like Jazza Dickens. You've got to stamp your authority, and if he tries to push you back, come with them counters, create them openings where he'll have gaps offensively, where you can take advantage of it offensively yourself. And then obviously gave him a standing count, went for the kill, inside work, then boom, got him out of there, left hook to the body, left hook to the head, then just tee him off for fun, and then eventually got him out of there, and that was night-night as Ben Davison. Credit to him, threw in the towel because he knew if it went probably 30 seconds longer, he would have been on the canvas, absolutely sparked out unconscious, which is not what we want to see for any fighter, especially Leeward. Now, when you break them both down stylistically, Jazza Dickens, Anthony Cacace, pardon me, keys to victory: land and move, don't admire your work. Just jab and move, keep the fight at bay, don't give up your reach. But lower the output till the second half of the fight, because Jazza Dickens, he picks his punches well, and you need probably 3-4 rounds to read him, to read his rhythm, to read how he boxes, to capitalize on it. You can't go out swinging from the first round, because If you do that like the Eastern European guy did, you'd end up out there before you get to the second half of the fight. Now with Jazza Dickens, you got to make Cacace give up his range, bring him to a dogfight, and the overhand left hand is the equalizer. When you make him give up his range, you got to bring him to that dogfight. You got to push him in the middle, land your shots first, because when you have a shorter reach, your punch will get there before him, as with his timing, guaranteed will. And I believe that overhand left is the equalizer when, especially Cacace, when he's at orthodox stance, throwing that right hand, little step forward, just creep forward, throw that left hook, and then boom, hopefully he'll be on the canvas for Jazza Dickens' sake. Now, I think this is a tremendous fight. There'll be spells where it might be a bit of a chess match, but they'll get stuck in as well. I do believe it'll be similar to back in the day when you had Cole Frampton and Scott Quigg. Stylistically, I do believe you'll see very similarities where they box in spells but then brawl in spells, which is why I do believe when you break both fighters down, Cacace and Dickens, I think Dickens just has that extra class about him, where Cacace, he hits hard, but technical ability, and when it comes to mixing the middle and the all-round boxing ability, ring generalship, speed, power, and everything in hand, I do believe Dickens just has the edge. And to be fair, him at 2-1 is great odds. Personally, if I was doing the odds, I'd say Dickens 4-5, Cacace 5-4 or 11-10. I'd make him a very, very slight favourite. I do believe it's a pick'em. I do believe it's a proper 50-50. But I do believe the resume, the experience, just favours Dickens. Although Cacace, he's been on a roll. Lee Wood, Josh Warrington, the Welsh Wizard, Joe Cortina. But again, resume doesn't win fights. Experience, 12-round wars, boxing ability, and everything under the sun that Jazza Dickens has, it's just a tad bit much for Cacace, in my opinion.